Hey, it's April 17th, and the weather has been fantastic for the past 24 hours around most of Alabama and most of the southeast for that matter. And it's this dry air that's coming in, not just at the ground, but way up above our heads, too, in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere that has made so much difference in the way it looks and feels around here. And up to the north, big upper air low underneath that thing. We've had some snow around today in Chicago and up toward Columbus, Ohio. And then there's this next storm system that's out here to the west. You can see it digging into San Francisco and subtropical branch of the jet down here. You've got the northern branch of the jet coming just like that. So some stormy weather is likely in the offing for at least part of the central U.S. later on this week, especially from Texas up through Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then potentially into parts of Louisiana and Mississippi as well. Around here tonight, central Alabama, North Alabama, into Mississippi and Georgia, there's an area of high pressure that's located right about here between, say, Jackson and New Orleans. Around that thing, the air is just bone dry, and as long as that high stays where it is, that's the kind of weather that we expect. But what you get when the high starts to move over here toward the east, especially once it's east of the Atlantic coast and off into the Atlantic, is this thing called a return flow. So over, let's say, the Florida coastline, you get a little Atlantic moisture. That's where this green comes from. And then it starts to dry again, and you really don't get much of a fetch over the northern Gulf of Mexico. So these winds that are coming up southeast into Birmingham and Montgomery and Mobile and Chatham and Demopolis, it's not a lot of humidity there. But you get this longer fetch coming across the peninsula and across the Gulf up through Louisiana, and then, of course, Texas, and all that's moving up into Arkansas and Missouri. And that's what's going to set the stage for potentially a little bit of active weather later on this week, especially Thursday into Friday. Here's a starting point around here early in the morning. A lot of 40s. Huntsville down to 41, Galesville 41, Forestdale around 44. One of the standouts here, Vinemont around 50. That probably has a little something to do with it being higher up than some of the lower spots, especially east and southeastern Cullman County. And then you look up here to Limestone County, Lauderdale County. There are going to be some spots that easily make it to the low 40s. But then here's the payoff, a good 30-degree warm-up tomorrow afternoon, if not 35 degrees. Forestdale, Helena, Jemison, Rockford, Prattville, all warming up really nicely. Huntsville getting up to about 77 degrees on Tuesday. So let's talk the 7-day forecast. Here's another look at highs coming up on Tuesday. A lot of 70s. Might get a spot or two close to Demopolis that make it into the low 80s. Trussville 77, Asheville 78, Gadsden 78. But we get there by going from the 40s at 6 a.m. to the mid-70s, light southwest wind around, say, 8 miles per hour or so. We're breezy and warm going into Thursday. Wind out of the southwest, a daytime high around 86. And then you look at toward Friday and Saturday. I'll tell you, I'm a little skeptical of this. Sometimes we just have to do the best we can do when there's a very odd situation. 67 on Saturday is probably a little too warm. There is a very good chance that we are quite a bit cooler than that on Saturday. And here's why. Watch this. So rain becomes likely Friday afternoon and Friday evening over Mississippi and West Tennessee. But even, look at this, 10 a.m., we might have a bit of rain showing up in northwest Alabama, maybe even into Sumter County or Marengo County as early as 10 o'clock Friday morning. So we're accounting for that here. You see that chance of a shower or thunderstorm, high at 79. South wind. So that chance is being accounted for. Rain doesn't become likely until late Friday night, early Saturday morning, and that's when a cold front is moving in. So as this front gets closer to us early Saturday morning, we've got this convergence of two air masses and a very slow movement. So widespread showers and a few thunderstorms around. And looky, right here, Talladega Superspeedway. It's likely raining at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. There's some disagreement, we'll put it that way, in forecast modeling as to how quickly this moves out. What you're looking at is European guidance. I think it's doing a slightly better job with the timing here than the GFS. I think it will probably be out a little bit faster. So you see the accumulating rain or really substantial rain is already gone by 5 p.m. What this is not really accounting for, though, is that there may be a little bit of drizzle that's still left behind. A mostly cloudy sky, some drizzle. It may be a little hard to get the Saturday race off on time. Let's just put it that way. I think it's possible to get the race in, but we will slowly dry out. It's not just going to come gangbusters through here and everything's going to be fine. Sunday is just breezy and chilly. I think we may have a hard time getting above, say, 64, 65 degrees in most places on Sunday afternoon. In fact, check this out. Here's the actual race day forecast. Clear and cold for the Geico 500. Mostly sunny, breezy, and nice in the afternoon. A high about 65 degrees. At least with the sunshine, that'll feel very nice. You'll still get sunburned, though, and maybe even wind chapped because of all the breeze. 62 by the time the race is over. I did mention that there was at least a chance of a few severe thunderstorms on Friday night into early Saturday. Let me pull that in for you. Out to the west, the Storm Prediction Center has outlined this portion of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi for a threat of a few severe thunderstorms. I don't think it's going to make it into Alabama, at least the way things look right now. But if it did, if we were to anticipate a severe weather threat around here, it would likely be very early Saturday morning, and it would probably be something like that right there. And, of course, maybe connected over to the risk that's already been drawn. So this general area here, South Mississippi into southwestern Alabama, that's where something like that would be a possibility. So that's what we'll be watching for going into the weekend. And, of course, into next week, check out that low next Monday morning, 39. Some of the model guidance projecting low 30s in parts of North Alabama. So we may not be completely finished with frost north of, say, Cullman and Gadsden and Hamilton just yet.